This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And Yahawah shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither Yahawah shall lead you. Now before I begin, I would like to face the east and give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, the men I do learn this truth from. This is the brother Yeshaya, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this light out. I'm in my vehicle, but this lesson was inspired by these, what I perceive to the spirit to be Israelite foreigners. Now, I may be mistaken. Salaki, I'm on the extra pad we let my son use, but I came across this video where, it had popped up on my feed. And if you can't tell already, I perceive them to be Jakes, Israelite foreigners. Now, let's just click the video.
Whoever coined the phrase, the calm before the storm, has never survived two little ones. Our honest, calm lavender collection.
Now, of course, we don't want to watch the whole video. They got that soul in there. And of course, they got that zeal, they got the crosses. And they got a little bit of salt to them. They got some salt. Here's the second guy. Hey, so through the spirit, man, these are Jakes. They don't seem like they're faking it. This is one video that I came across. I tried doing some research on their backgrounds, but there's not information out there. But hey, the spirit, we're trying the spirit, man. You can't, these are Jakes, man. They be too comfortable acting like this, man. Now, the spirit was on me to go ahead and make this video, because they're Israelite foreigners, regardless if you want to see it that way or not. It's a spiritual thing that they act like this. Some simple-minded people, let me go to the comments. This is something that I came across that I wanted to point out right before I get into the scriptures. These people, simple-minded people would hate. Like this dude. All these dudes had good parents, laughing my ass off. Now, he may know them personally. I doubt it. But when I clicked on his channel, what do you know? It was another Jake. It could be a tear. You never know, but it was just another Jake, who seemed to be, I perceived to be hating. He's fear, and in a goofy name like that, it's most likely Jake. His channel, let me go to this photo quick so you can get a better view. This Jake's name is Fear is Man-Made. Hey, what is wisdom and knowledge? How do you receive that? By fearing Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Now, this dude's, he's simple, man, but he said all these dudes had good parents. Hey, and maybe they did. But why did they act like this? Why did they turn to this? That's because the Lord has curses amongst the people of Israel. The people of Israel being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And for the ones that don't know, it ain't just strictly if you're a Negro, Latino, or a Native American that makes you an Israelite. There's Israelite foreigners. You know, there's brothers that have been scattered. That's why I opened up with Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 27. You see? You know, so once again, let's read it. I have it right here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, shall scatter you. He's speaking to Israel. If you haven't, read this chapter, this book, for the new listeners, the Bible is not just some made up stuff. This is the answer to life we deal with. We're dealing with life through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. It says, he shall scatter you among the nations. You know why? Because Israel was holy. Israel is a special people unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. It says, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen. Among the other nations. That's why you'll see brothers that look like the other nations, because they were scattered. And through mixing amongst the people, Jake getting down with these heathen women, they start coming out looking like the heathen women. Oh, that boy looks just like his mother. But, the dad is a so-called Negro. The dad is a so-called Mexican, a so-called Cuban. You see? So, but the Lord scattered us among the heathen, whither the Lord, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi shall send you, Salakia. Let me go ahead and open this pad real quick. You see? Man, it's clear as day, man. And for anyone that can't see that the Lord has scattered our people and put curses among us, I mean, look at this. This has Jake written all over it. Could be Northern Kingdom, could be the Southern Kingdom. Man, the Lord is, and look at that. It's not even, US dollars. Our people have been scattered, man. That could be yen. I don't know what currency that is. If brothers are more knowledgeable when it comes to these different currencies and what they look like, hey, I don't want to you can maybe comment what this is. But this is clearly not from here. And look, could be a Northern Kingdom Jake right there, or just a straight up Jake that looks like, he could look like an Edomite. Our people have been scattered, man. That's why you even have brothers that look like these white devils, these so-called white devils. See another one that could be, more Jakes, man. The Lord is beautiful with this. But like I wanted to mention with this dude right here, he just seems to be salty. And that's how our people are. They hate on one another. These dudes didn't sound corny. They sound like they really are about whatever they're about. Gambling. Behind the scenes shit. Like, they got the shit lock. Hey, but regardless, Jake is gone. Those are demons. These are the type of people we avoid. Now, if they come to the truth and repent, there you go. That's what we're here for, man. So let's get straight into the precepts. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me see what I got first real quick. Let's go ahead and, jump to Isaiah 11:11. It reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord he shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. Because that's what the Lord's dealing with. He's dealing with the remnant. You see, even though those may be Jakes in that video, if they're not being dealt with, they're not being dealt with. The Lord has not chose them. So it says, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. You see, these are amongst other nations that the Lord has sent us as a punishment. You get a couple of brothers together in righteousness, man, these people are terrified. These people don't know how to act whenever brothers come together and are in a righteous spirit. They're terrified when they see brothers gathered up on the corner doing righteous things. Because it's power they witness. It's the power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. You see? And then when you go into that word recover, where's that right? Let me see. I'm not going to click on it just for example, though. To the second time to recover, that word recover goes into the Hebrew word qanah. That Hebrew word qanah is the same thing as to buy, which means to redeem, set you free. You see? So the Lord's going to set us free. You know, he's by recovering us, by allowing us to go back into our natural state of being righteous, our natural state of being the kings of this earth. You see? But right now we have to deal with a bunch of jakes that want to act like these fucking bug outs that want to just rap about death. Push a deadly vibration out there. You know, because I guarantee those dudes, hey, you know, you come across them, yeah, they may be cool, but you piss them off, man. Hey, soft answer turneth away wrath. You got to use wisdom, you know? Let's go to this precept right here, because that word 𤤄𤄢 goes into that word buy, you know, or recover. Now, this is Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Let me go ahead and highlight it real quick. It reads, "And Yahawah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." Israel was not a ocean away from Egypt, you know? It was not an ocean away. So guess what? We're referring to spiritual Egypt, because these are curses on us, man. Our people were brought here on slave ships, you know, specifically the southern kingdom. So it says, "By the whereof I speak unto thee," you know, "thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." And there you go, buy. "No man shall set you free, no man shall recover you." That's why we're in this low ass estate, man. We suck. Us as a people right now are at a low. Despite how good our people are at being athletes or rappers or whatever, drug dealing, or prostitutes, man, our people are the best at being the worst, you know? But just wait till that righteous spirit comes back to them, man. That's why you see brothers out there pushing this word heavily, you know? Because that's the Lord's people, you know? And right now the Lord has given his people off to Satan. The vast majority of our people are under the hands of Satan right now, as a form of a punishment, you know? The Lord loves his people so much that he's teaching them a lesson, like a true father would do. You teach your children a lesson, you see? And some are learning quicker than others. The Lord has his elect learning this quicker than the 2/3. The 2/3 were designed to never learn this until they suffer death by pain, as spoken of in 2nd Ezra. You see? Let's read this in the NLT. "Then Yahawah, BAHASHAM Yahawashi, will send you back to Egypt in ships, to a destination I promised you would never see again. There you will offer to sell yourselves to your enemies as slaves, but no one will buy you." You know, I already made the point with the King James. You know, this one, it may be going off a little bit. You know, they try to make it seem like you just chose to be slaves. Nah, the Lord put you under slavery through the power of his whipping stick. You see, his sword, Esau. You see? Esau got what's coming to him as well. You know, it's not by accident that Esau's going to have to suffer, man. Let me cut this light on real quick, Salakia. You know, so let's go ahead and jump into Jeremiah. I got one in Jeremiah I want to grab. This is Jeremiah, chapter 12. And I think I want to go with verse 9. Let's read it. "Mine heritage," let's go ahead and highlight it real quick. "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour." And that speckled bird goes into a bird that is looked down upon. You see? Those jakes that have been scattered are looked down upon. You think the people in their community look at them like they're righteous men? Like they're civilized, you know, they're good to be around? Nah, they're looked down upon because that's the curses on them. Even their parents are looked down upon. Like, oh, why didn't they take care of their children? They weren't raised right. You know, same thing with Jake, man. Esau loves to look down upon us, and especially our parents. You know, and that's a curse. We're looked down upon no matter what, especially because Esau has this perpetual hatred. And so do these other nations, man. They look down upon us. They look at us like a laughing stock. We're the joke in this time. You see? These other nations look like they got it figured out, right? They got the businesses. They got the generational wealth. You know, these Ishmaelites got all the money in Dubai. Hey, guess what, man? Newsflash, this place ain't forever. The Lord's blessed these people. But guess what? The ultimate blessing is being held for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds, man. You Israelite foreigners. You know, this is who this video is dedicated to. You know, in Adawan Ratazah, Yahawah willing, this lesson is being edifying. Let's go ahead and jump to Jeremiah. Let's just go tap this button real quick. Jeremiah 23 and verse 3. Yeah, let's highlight it. And I will gather the remnant of my flock. Hey, hold up. The Lord has a flock. And we may be part of it if we be true and hold on to this until the end, man. That remnant. It says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries. So not only in America, known as Babylon, known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt, not only the UK, not only Russia, not only Egypt, Egypt. The Lord has us scattered, man. So, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries. And it's like if I didn't just strictly name countries, but it is what it is. So it says, whither I have driven them. So wherever the Lord has driven them, that's the point. Wherever the Lord has driven his people. More specifically, as mentioned in this precept, the remnant that he is going to spare. They won't have to suffer death by pain. Because by design, they have the spirit in them to do what is needed for salvation. They have the spirit to accept Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. So you'll catch brothers that look like the so-called Chinese accepting Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Before, you'll see a so-called Mexican, a so-called Cuban, a so-called Hamite, or Salakia, a so-called, what was that word I was looking for? A Levi, a so-called Haitian. You see, slip of the tongue. You'll see a so-called man that looks like the so-called Chinese, except Yahawashi, before you'll see a Haitian, a so-called Haitian. Because the so-called Haitians are supposed to be Levites. They are the Levites. But they'd rather go by being a Haitian and practicing voodoo and whatnot. Hey, the scriptures say, suffer not a witch to live. You see? So this is a very spiritual thing. You'll catch a so-called white man accepting Yahawashi before you'll catch a so-called Mexican, man. You see, and you Mexicans are Issacharites, and you got tares amongst them. And you so-called white men are Edomites, but you got Israelites among you. You know, the Lord has worked a very special thing out there, man. And if you have the eyes to see it, you will see it. This lesson isn't going to be far-fetched. It's not going to be too much for you to understand if you understand the spiritual side of things. So once again, Jeremiah 23 and 3, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I had driven them, and will bring them again to their folds. See, again to their folds. They've been here before. They've been amongst our people, but they have, as a punishment, been sent out. And sometimes it ain't always a punishment. It's just to show brothers, yo, we've been scattered. And they shall be fruitful and increase. Hey, in the kingdom, the remnant are going to be increased. You see? We'll be fruitful and multiply. Let's go ahead and jump back to Deuteronomy. You know, I got a couple precepts and I'm going to close out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 3. We'll go ahead and highlight all these, you know. It's like a checkpoint. Lord willing, I'll go over these precepts again and connect the dots. This is Deuteronomy 30 verse 3. That then Yahawah, thy power, will turn thy captivity. Let me see. Let's start at the top. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee. You know, just this is coming straight out of reading the curses on our people. All right, let me make sure. I know 28 goes into it. You know, the gifts and curses. Yeah, the Lord's going into it with verse 20, chapter 29 as well. Let's go ahead and read this one. Deuteronomy 29 and verse 4. Yet Yahawah hath not given you an heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day. And that's why a lot of our people don't understand these things. A lot of our fucking people want to say it's an all black thing. They're black Hebrew Israelites. Man, that's a fucking bugged out thing. Satan has you fucking confused, man. And it's sad. Or you'll see the so-called Hispanics, the so-called Latinos hating on the so-called Negroes. Our people are fucking sick. You know? So, the Lord has not given them eyes to see and ears to hear, man. It's not for everyone to get it. And that's why we don't hold back. We don't hold our tongues for you weak individuals. We go out there and teach. So let's continue where I left off. Deuteronomy 30 verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing, there you go, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahawah thy power hath driven thee. There you go. So, and shalt return unto Yahawah thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. And what's his voice? This word, man. The spirit on brothers that go out there and break it down. The spirit that allows brothers to break it down and upload it. It says, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thine soul. So everything you got, man. What do we got to lose here, man? Why can't we be dedicated to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi? Well, that's only if he wants you to see this, man, and he wants you to hear this. That's what holds you back. The Lord doesn't want all of us. And that's why we're fighting, man. He gave us the spirit to make a video, make the video. He gave you a spirit to go out and teach, go out and teach. He gave you the spirit to fast and pray, fast and pray. Don't hide your talents. These are talents the Lord has given you. You know? This is spiritual money we're allowed to spend. So why not spend it? You know, we're in debt right now, man. We owe the Lord our life. What did Yahawashi do for us, man? We owe him everything we got. To the best of our ability, we shall serve him. You see, and in hopes that his blood is going to cover us in that day of destruction. You see? We're fighting, man. This is spiritual warfare. This ain't walking in the park. This ain't no take this road and everything's going to be good. Nah. You are going to suffer for righteousness. You see? But you were already suffering, so why not suffer for something that's right? We were already suffering before this truth. So why not suffer for something that's right, man? Fuck this place. You see? And hey, I didn't expect to be so, what is that word? Passionate in this video, but that's the spirit, man. That's how it works sometimes. You feel these precepts more and more. But the point is in verse 3. That then Yahawah thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. You see? And will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither Yahawah thy power had scattered thee. You see? The Lord has scattered us, man. And yet he will have compassion upon us. You see? I'm going to jump on this iPad real quick and grab this one in the Apocrypha. One of my favorite go-tos, man. This is an easy cut on you simpleton. You out there that think, oh, the Bible's for everyone. Man, the Bible is never meant to be for everyone. Let's grab this one. This is going to be Tobit, chapter 13 and verse 3. Let me make sure to grab that in the KJV. And it reads, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel. So confess who? Confess Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. Before the Gentiles, so in front of all these nations, because that's what this word Gentiles represents, all the nations except for Israel. This is referring to you heathen. And it says, for he, this is the reasoning, for he, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, hath scattered us among them. So guess what? We confess the Lord in front of all you people, you other nations, you heathen, you drops of the bucket. We confessed Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi in your face. And you just walk past us looking stupid. Because you have no fucking clue what's going on, man. Hey, but that's the power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. And if you have eyes to see this and ears to hear it, then that's why you should fear the Lord. You see? That's why you should return to where you were meant to be, man. So, Yahawah willing, this lesson has been edifying. I would like to close out by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles with great millstone. Shalawam to the elect.